Should we put some music on while we read? Meh. Okay. Geez, feeling amazing. Thank you. As we take this moment and we're so thankful for the visual arts that we can engage, we do need to take a moment and just remind ourselves of the good stuff. Because that's good, but you're greater. You are what makes these good things enjoyable. We can have a feast, but in strife, it'll be like eating paper, eating dirt. So we take this moment as we have the blessings to be able to play these visual arts and be content and joyful with what you have done. And if there's anything that's preventing us from content and joyfulness in you, and these, may we just address it. Because Jesus, King Jesus, you did not call us to just abstain from the world, but from the created order, not the world as in the sinful world, but be in the created order and do rule over it with your wisdom. So may you give us your wisdom, and as we process the day. In wonderful awesome name, amen. 1 Kings chapter 4, verse 20 to chapter 5, verse 18. Everyone under their vines and their fig trees. Judah and Israel were as many as the sand on the sea in number, eating, drinking, and enjoying themselves. Solomon was ruling over all the kingdoms from the river Euphrates to the country of the Philistines as far as the border of Egypt, bringing contributions and serving Solomon all the days of his life. Judah and Israel lived in security, each one under his vine and fig tree, from Dan as far as Beersheba, all the days of Solomon. God gave Solomon wisdom and insight in very great measure and breadth of mind like the sand on the seashore. Solomon's wisdom was greater than the wisdom of the Canaanites and all the wisdom of the Egyptians. He was wiser than anyone else, than Ethan the Ezrahite, Heman, Shakol, and Darda, the sons of Machol. His name spread among all the nations. He spoke 3,000 sayings, and his songs were 1,005. He spoke about trees from the cedar in Lebanon to the hyssop that grows on a wall. He spoke about animals, birds, moving things, and fish. They came from all peoples to listen to Solomon's wisdom, from all the kings of the earth who had heard his wisdom. Hiram, king of Tyre, sent his staff to Solomon because he had heard that they had anointed him as king in place of his father, because Hiram had always been loyal to David. So Solomon sent to Hiram to say, "You yourselves know of my father David, that he was not able to build a house for the name of Yahweh his God because of the war that surrounded him. So now order people to cut cedar for me from Lebanon. My staff will be with your staff, and your staff's wages. I will give it to you in accordance with anything you say, because you yourselves know that there is no one among us who knows about cutting logs like the Sidonians." When Hiram heard Solomon's words, he was very glad. He said, "Yahweh be worshipped today, that he gave David a wise son over this great people." Hiram sent to Solomon to say, "I have heard the message you sent me. I'll do all you want by way of cedar and cypress logs. My staff will bring them down to Lebanon to the sea. I will be the one who makes them into rafts by sea to the place you specify to me, and I will split them up there. You will be the one who takes them, and you will do what I want by giving food to my household." King Solomon raised conscript labor from all Israel. The conscript labor came to 30,000 men. He sent them to Lebanon 10,000 a month in shifts. They'll be a month in Lebanon, 2 months at home. Adoram was over the conscript labor. Solomon had 70,000 carriers and 80,000 stonecutters in the mountains. Apart from the directors of Solomon's prefects who were over the work, 3,300 supervising the company doing the work. The king ordered them to transport large stones, fine stones, so as to found the house with cut stones. Solomon's builders, Hiram's builders, and men from Babylos shaped and prepared the logs and the stones to build the house. So here Solomon is creating quite the large nation. And he's also making a household. A few weeks ago, my son and his family are visiting. We spent some great time sitting out in the shade, eating bread and cheese and drinking wine while the children played in the pool. The eruption of a volcano in Iceland halted flights back to Europe and confined my visitors to California for 5 extra days, which didn't trouble them too much and made for some extra unexpected, relaxed, and unplanned lunches like that. They reminded me of times we had as a family nearly 30 years ago, when my sons were the children, my wife and I were at the parents, and my mother and mother in law were the seniors. We will sit under the shade of a tree in the garden of a French gite, as the French will call it, or cottage, as Brits will call it, or cabin, as people in the United States will call it, eating bread and cheese and drinking wine. Through without a pool to amuse the children, for me there is a picture of heaven there, or at least a picture of old age, sitting under your vine and under your fig tree, eating, drinking, and enjoying yourself. Yet there is something enigmatic about the story of Judah and Israel under the rule of Solomon. You could say it rounds off the enigmatic nature of the entire story of the three kings who ruled Israel before the nation split into two. In Saul's story, God's dealing with Saul is the mystery. In David's story, David himself is the mystery. In Solomon's story, Israel is the mystery, though the storyteller is something of a mystery too. On one hand, there is that idyllic picture of a vast people relaxing under their vines and fig trees. One of its significance is that in Solomon's day, God's promises to Abraham and to Israel have been marvelously fulfilled. Israel is indeed as numerous as the sand on the seashore. Solomon rules from the Euphrates to Egypt. It is not exactly that the vast area to the northeast, covering much of the modern Syria and Iraq, is part of Israel. There are still separate kingdoms there, but that Israel has acquired something of an empire in that direction. It controls the destiny and the economy of that entire area. Then there is Solomon's wisdom. There is no doubt that he will need to be an astute guide and administer and control this mini empire. In the Middle East, the kind of wisdom that the story talks about, much of it the kind that is collected in Proverbs, was an indispensable adjunct to such political and economic leadership. And the peoples around had court colleagues for training people and evolved in the administration. It would almost be a necessity for Solomon's wisdom to exceed that of these other peoples if his wide rule was to be effective. We do not know anything about the Canaanites or the other wise people who are mentioned. We do know that people such as the Egyptians generated collections of insight comparable to that in Proverbs. If you ask how Israel's was superior, then you could say it was in the more systematic way interwove a concern about fairness and a concern about God with its interest in what works. Presumably, any contribution Solomon made lay not so much in composing sayings, presidents don't write their own speeches, as in promoting and endorsing such work. One application of Solomon's wisdom, then, lay in devising a system for getting the subject peoples in those areas Solomon controlled to pay taxes, to use our term for bringing contributions. 1 Kings 4 goes on to describe the quantities of provision that Solomon's administration required, such as 100 sheep and goats per day. The king and other decision makers and public servants do well off the back of foreign peoples, though the same applies to ordinary people. Did the Israelites enjoying themselves under their vines and fig trees think about the price these other peoples paid for their pleasant life? When I sit in the shade with my glass of a $2 a bottle wine, I have cheap taste. I don't think too much about the vast army of immigrant vineyard workers whose poorly paid labor makes it possible for me to do so. Actually, I have never thought about it until this moment. It wasn't just those economically subordinate peoples who paid the taxes. The Israelites themselves pay taxes. Each of the 12 prefects whom Solomon had appointed was responsible for raising enough income from the area under his control to provide for the king and his household for 1 month. The story adds that Solomon had thousands and thousands of chariots and horses, and it was those taxes that paid for the horses' provisioning. Did the Israelites sitting under their vines and fig trees think about the price they paid for their security and any more than we do? Did they shrug their shoulders about it? Did they ask whether there was something un-Israelite about it? When Deuteronomy 17 lays down some rules for kings, it includes that they mustn't accumulate horses or wealth. It also declares that they mustn't accumulate wives, which is a sign of status. So David and Solomon are both in trouble. Deuteronomy. So weren't they not supposed to collect? And what else? Right, because it was a sign of status, which Solomon, David, and Saul were all in trouble. Deuteronomy hadn't been written by Solomon's day, and this prohibition likely indicates that Israel's theologians had indeed reflected on Solomon's leadership style and lifestyle and concluded that there was something un-Israelite about it. Solomon's plans for building a temple contains more ambiguities. God approved of David's plan to build a temple, albeit reluctantly. Solomon is in a position to do so, and he is able to take advantage of his mutually beneficial relationship with Hiram as king of the next door empire. To the northeast, it was in Hiram's interest to stay on friendly terms with Solomon. Once again, this involves huge costs to Hiram's people and Solomon's people, who have no choice but to provide the labor for the work and thus neglect their own farms, and directly or indirectly provide the provisions for the thousands of workers involved. Again, from the produce of their farms, which was often barely enough for their own needs. Maybe they're happy about it. When I look at a wondrous building such as Lincoln Cathedral or Durham Cathedral, I wonder about the cost of ordinary people of the work involved in it. Maybe they were glad to pay the cost of making something beautiful for God. So, remember, like David, when we read about David's tale, like he is just, yeah, he seemed like he's all over the place. He is just this. There's moments where looks like he got it right, but the other time, especially when it comes to his family, he just blah blah falters. So now it looks like that Israel says that they're under their vine and fig tree, but there's also this hint of a lot of their people are getting used for work. And a lot of like it's also happening to the empire next door. So then you have to like wonder like who is building this empire and who's benefiting from it. All right, we can start. Any thoughts, Logan? There we go. Boom, boom, boom. I'm still here. Actually, I need to mute this. I forget. So pretty much the email that I have my Nintendo account on. So I'm just going to play some do a family share with some family. Like they keep trying to do the family share with me, but then my live.com email keeps filtering it out, and there's nothing I can do to stop filtering. So I need to switch my Nintendo account to a different email. So I'm here, but I'm simply just not showing what's on my screen. Always gotta love a game with a good bromance. Thoughtful. I see.
Back off!
I'm curious if it's seriously just I have too much stuff in my email where I can't push through until something gets deleted. Now I'm curious if that's a thing. That's an old email.
Heal! Rah! Yeah! 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 Ha! 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 Yeah! Rah! Ha! Ha! Yeah! Yeah! Rah! Yeah! Come on! Ha!
Whoa!
Yeah! Rah! Heal! Ha!
Whoa!
Yeah! Yeah!
Somebody come quick!
Ha!
Oh,
Yeah! Yeah! Ha! 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 Yeah! Ha! Yeah!
What the heck? I don't know why I was having such a hard time. Usually they're... Oh, I meant to retry. Blah. Alright, let's finish the tournament. We didn't complete a lot today, but that's okay.
Yeah!
Whoa!
Ha! 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 Yeah! Ha! Yeah! Ha! Yeah! Ha! Yeah! Back off! Ha! Yeah! Ha! 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 Back off! Give me strength!
Oh, I have to be old.
This is it! Yeah! Ha! Yeah! 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 Back off! Back off! Yeah! Ha! 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 Yeah! Ha! Yeah! This is it! This is it! Give me strength! Back off! Heal! Ha! 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 Rah! Ha! Yeah! Rah! Yeah! Rah! Ha! Yeah! Ha! Yeah! Yeah! Rah! Ha! Yeah. Yeah. Heal.
What?
Yeah. Yeah. Back off. Let's go. It's over. It's over. Give me strength. Take this. Heal. Yeah. Give me strength. Yeah.
Somebody come quick!
Yeah. 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 Give me strength. Heal. Yeah. 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 This is it. Yeah. Yeah. It's over. This is it. This is it.
Here goes. Here goes.
This one's gonna hurt.
Here goes.
Turn it.
I'm better.
Just give up, it'll be easier.
Here goes.
All right, I was this close.
Yeah. Heal. Back off. Yeah. Right. It's over. This is it. Give me strength. Take this. Heal. Yeah. 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 Give me me strength. Somebody come quick! Back off! Yeah! Back off! Back off! Yeah! 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 It's over! It's over! Yeah! 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 Yeah!
Here goes! Here goes! Here goes!
Give me strength! This is it! It's over! It's over! Give me strength! This is it!
Here goes!
Back off! Give me strength! Take this! Okay.
Oos.
Why?
Oh, actually, I already had a bunch of dark shards.
Ha!
All right, Char, we dip in 12 minutes, my friend. Huh? Right.
Bring it on!
All right, friends. I'm most likely be back on tomorrow. Love you guys.